What's up? What's up? All right. All right. So we're officially live. All right. Got to make sure I get my Instagram folks on here. So while we wait on a few people to come in, I will say if you are on Instagram, and I try to remember to announce this more, it probably only give you about an hour. So I'm not trying to hold my girl all night. This was impromptu. So I'm gonna respect her time tonight. Sometimes it get good. We get the grooving. But when she give me that sign that it's time for her to go, that's it, y'all. So if you caught this after the live, just know when her time is up, our time is up, because I couldn't do this without her. So this was impromptu. I hit her up. I was like, hey, y'all, it's been a while. It was something that I've been seeing, and there was no other person that I wanted to cover these topics with than Miss Brandy Yates. What's up, Brandy?
What's up? What's up? Is this live just
Yes.
on Instagram or?
No, actually. So for y'all that's watching, we're on 3 streams. So my YouTube channel, Balancing Life with Leo Richards, is going live over on YouTube. So if you're on Instagram and it cuts off, you can catch it on Facebook on live, Leo Richards on Facebook, or you can go over to Balancing Life with Leo Richards on YouTube. So we're on 3 platforms. We're streaming on 3 platforms right now, y'all.
I'm trying to see. I can't, because I was trying to share it to my personal page. I can't see it on Facebook.
It just popped up.
Okay.
So it probably just popped up. Let me see. Let me go over there. See, we waiting on y'all anyway. Oh yeah, it's live.
Oh, my phone must be tripping then, because I don't see
You
it.
know what? Let me see. Make sure it's nope. All right. Thank you for saying something. All right, because it was on only me for whatever reason. Facebook was hating on me, so I got it on. All right, now y'all know. I was wondering why was nobody chiming in. See, y'all got to thank Miss Brandy.
I'm sure, like I was gonna share it to my personal page, but I'm like, I don't see that mug live.
Oh, all right. Hey, it's official. We live now. You know what I'm saying? So look, a little rusty, y'all. So forgive me, I'm a little rusty. It's been a little minute since I've been on here, and I forgot Facebook was hating on me like that. Where I had to, make sure that on the Facebook, I don't know why. So on Instagram, you only get an hour. On Facebook, I got to go on there and make it public. On YouTube is where it's at. So y'all can go over to YouTube, catch it live on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, like I said, go to YouTube, go to Facebook. Those are the other 2 platforms. So all depending on how much time my girl got. What else you got? Thanks for catching that.
That's all I got. I mean, I'm here until my little nieces and nephews start beating on the door and telling me, come on, come out and get them some time. So I'm here till the end.
She got the tongue snatchers over there, y'all. All right.
Yeah.
So before we get going, I normally have the water. I got coconut water today. So like always, drink your water. But without further ado, for the few that chimed in and for the many that will come in, thank y'all. Welcome back, y'all. I miss y'all. So the conversations that we're gonna have this evening is because I'm a lover of love. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I repent. I'm a fighter too, but I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Yay! All right. So you caught us in the beginning. That's what's up. So I'm a lover of love, y'all. I love seeing relationships. I love seeing healthy connections. And guess what? I realize Friday nights is typically there are some hosts that do dating connections on Friday nights. Friday nights is huge for those. Sometimes it's a little messy. And then y'all know the balloon pop thing. That's huge. So what I figured, because there are some topics, why not learn how to go into these relationships in a manner of a healthy way? And one of the realest individuals I know, Miss Brandy Yates, Conquering Relationships, she gonna always say it like a T.I. is. So without further
I'm
ado,
the one they love to hate. That's what I like to say. Y'all love me, but then y'all love to hate to hear what I gotta say. But you love me. You won't leave me alone. You love what I gotta say, but you hate it at the same time.
that's all right. That's just like LeBron James and Team USA. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to Team USA. Forget what the haters say. Ain't nobody getting blown out in about 40 points in 2024. USA,
No.
let's go. King James, crown them. All right. So back to the program. I'm a little amped up, y'all. That break was good. So my girl had a post. So what we're gonna start off with, my girl had a post on her page with conquering relationships. And so what we decided to do with this topic was expectations of men and women. So I'm gonna let her give her take on the post that she gave about, you know, what men are, what's expected of men coming into relationships, what's expected of women. I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it, and we're gonna go from there. And it was on the topic of proving yourself in relationships. So can you give us some insight on what that was?
Yeah, so I'm gonna first read it for those who don't follow me, and then I'll let you just piggyback off of what I read, since she was like, let's talk about this. So my post said, we tell women don't go overboard or do too much in the beginning to prove herself to a man. Then in the same breath, we tell men that they need to go overboard and they need to do a lot in the beginning in order to prove himself. So then I said, yet this generation is full of unhappy people who either have never been in a solid relationship or who are currently in an unhappy relationship. So then I said, so then what's the blueprint? Hypothetically asking, well, what's the blueprint? We tell women don't overdo it, but then we tell men to overdo it, and then we got a bunch of people who we just doing. Like nobody's really matching up. Nobody is really having those conversations that need to be had. We're just focused on the action. And we know actions and words gotta match, of course, but we're focusing on the aesthetics of it. So if you can provide this, that, and other, money, gifts, dates, flowers, pay my bills, then you are a real man. But then we tell women don't cook for a man that ain't your husband. You know, we tell women don't do, and then we tell men they need to do. So it's like, okay, well, where's the disconnect? Like, why aren't relationships really working in a higher percentage that we need them to work in our culture?
All right, so I'm gonna jump in on that one. So for one, I'm gonna give a few references. I'm not gonna go over the whole stories, the whole scriptures, and whatnot. I'm gonna give a few references, and then I'm gonna give a point to that. So one, the story of Esther, the story of Ruth. You know, everybody say they want a Boaz, but they don't know how to present themselves. They don't know the wisdom and the guidance of using, you know, those before us, family members and people of wisdom. Also, there's a term that I've shared many times on my platforms and with you. Playing hard to get is for the courting stage, not introduction. And so, you know, that's something that I believe many individuals need to adopt. And I say that again, playing hard to get is for the courting stage, not introduction. And I think too many people miss out on great people and opportunities because they want people to do a song and dance just to say hello. All right. And then on the flip side of things, I think, you know, one thing that I share with people is, in my experience, since I started meeting people again, what I realized was the most balanced women, the best conversations I've ever had with women were women that were not inundated with social media. All right. So women that wasn't fixated on Instagram, especially Instagram and Facebook, they were the most balanced and had the most depth of conversations than anybody. And then, you know, we'll hear about professional advice, so on and so forth. So I know somebody gonna ask, if you redirecting us to professionals and you're saying we need to talk to therapists and all of that, why are you jumping on here? Why are you talking about social media is bad for people, and that's part of the problem? Because according to the word, seed, time, and harvest. All right, it's a lot of bad information. It's a lot of negativity and a lot of toxic information that's being imparted into people's spirit. So I want to do my part to combat that and then drop some good seeds in there. So I know my place. I don't offer services for therapy, coaching, and whatnot because I know my position. My position is to drop a seed of faith, a seed of love, a seed of wisdom. And then there's somebody else that's going to come and water it. Then there's a specialist, a pastor, and somebody else that's going to reap the harvest, that's going to be able to teach you, coach you, hold your hand, and walk you through the full process, and so on and so forth. So to answer your question, a lot of that is the blueprint. A lot of that is to get to the basis and the foundation of the word structure and understanding who you are before you go seeking something you're not built to sustain.
I mean that's that. I just feel like it's too many, for the lack of better words, because I also believe healing is a forever process. I don't believe nobody on this earth is always fully healed. But it's too many unhealed people teaching other people about unhealed relationships. And so
Mhm.
a lot of things that you are teaching about or that you talking on, you giving surface level things when really a lot of issues that we have, they're deeply rooted. I talked to
Right.
Germany. When Germany talk about a lot of things, like people may be like, "Oh no, I ain't, I ain't got no trauma. I ain't got no childhood trauma. I ain't got, I ain't hurt." But yes, you do. You have some deeply rooted seeds that's just been piling on top of each other from person to person to person, and a lot of that it ain't got to do with intimate. Because as an accountability coach, I work on the mindset of people, and that stems towards intimate relationships and platonic relationships. And a lot of that is the platonic relationship with yourself and friends and family first. So I feel like we don't tackle those issues first. And we want a man or a woman to come heal us. We want them to heal us. We don't want to do the self work to heal us. And then we go and we trauma bond with these hurt stats and these hurt comments. Well, men need to do this. Well, women need to do that. Right. They ain't shit. We trauma bond with that. And then when we meet the content that's about healthy, you don't want to hear it because it talks about how you got to fix you first.
All right, so I want to jump in on that. I'm gonna put a pin in my comment real quick. So if you watching and you have a question to be asked, a comment, whatever, go and drop it in the comment section. If it pops up, it will be posted up just like this. You'll be featured, and we will address your question and our comment. So just know we are here. This is interactive. If you have questions, comments, you want to chime in, drop your comment. We will post it, and we'll get to your questions as well. But to follow up with something that you said, I just had a conversation with somebody, and I was expressing to them. I say one of the issues is you have to forgive yourself. And let me explain what forgiving yourself is and the importance of forgiving yourself from these situations. Because I've been in situations where I was trauma bonding. I've been in situations where I was hurt. I've been in situations that made me say, screw it. What's the point? It's peaceful being single, whatever the case may be. But then I went through a season where I went through a journey of healing. And I realized, one, I had to forgive myself and I had to forgive God. Most people don't even understand the concept of that. They rather stay mad at God and say, I don't believe in it, rather than instead of blaming him, for a decision you made, and he allowed you to go through that, and you begging him to take away the hurt and the pain. And it wasn't something that he permitted. It was something that you pursued that he didn't give you the green light on. Two, you got to forgive yourself for, being able to make decisions. The mindset, the heart, and the place that you were at when you made that decision, however old you were, however broken you were when you made the decision, you got to do the work to get to a place and realize if you're not in that same mindset, forgive that old person so that presently and futuristically you can enjoy life, because you can't take every person in every situation and then pair it against the past. And then now everything in your head is, I want to avoid that hurt again. So now I'm scaling everybody to avoid that bad decision I made. So you got to forgive yourself. Trauma bonding is something that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's unresolved issues, either through childhood, through broken relationships, through exposure of spirits, whatever the case may be. Forgive yourself. All right. So you can move forward and have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I think people can't forgive themselves because they haven't accepted the situation. They haven't accepted. So me and Germany actually is hosting a book club. And our first one starts on August 11th, and we're talking about triggers. For the next 4 Sundays, 4 or 5 Sundays, we talking about triggers. And in that book, it talks about guilt versus shame. And so I feel like a lot of people have allowed shame for their bad decisions. And some decisions, maybe it was a good decision, but it didn't pan out, the way you hoped it to pan out. But we're allowing, okay, yes, I'm guilty. I accept the situation. I made a bad choice. Hey, this that accountability. Hey, I picked wrong. I chose wrong. Hey, I gave too much in the beginning. That's that guilt. Okay, take that accountability. But what a lot of us are doing, we can't forgive ourselves because now you letting that shame pour in over you.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the shame is just pouring on you like rocks. And it's like you in quicksand. So you just drown. And what you're doing is you're trying to hope for the next person to come pull you out of that quicksand. And so you want them to be the person to cover you with the grace and the gifts and the love and the posts and the vacations. You want them to cover you, but you still covered in shame. And so then when they don't fit that image that you created in your head, all hell finna break loose. Now all that dirt that's in you, that hurt that's in you, oh now that's finna spew up. And that's what you call hurt people bleeding on other people.
You know what else that sound like? That you say you like that term? Don't try to date yourself through me. And
Oh, what you said? That was your term you used what on the very first live we did or something?
Hey,
You try to date me through you trying to date yourself through me.
Right. Don't date. And so if you ever look at Instagram and when you look at what people post that they're looking for, traveling is like number one. I love to travel. A lot of us barely traveled outside of our city, you know what I'm saying? And we get one traveler, we get out the country one time and now we traveling. But when you really look at the things that people are demanding now, it's the things that they should have required in their previous relationship, things that they feel they missed out on. So they saying, I'm not going to go through that again. I'm not going to got anymore. So I'm going to demand these things. And so instead of meeting a person where they're at, and instead of embracing the person, and the true factor of a healthy relationship is serving each other. I'm supposed to love her, and I'm supposed to serve her. She's supposed to serve and love me. We're supposed to exchange and compete on who's gonna love each other the most, which we're gonna get to in exclusive versus commitment. All right, so I'm gonna step on some toes on that one, y'all. So with that, you gotta go ahead.
No, well, I like you said that because it go back to the post of proving yourself in relationships. We tell women don't overdo, don't overgive. You supposed to sit there and be a passenger princess. Like he's supposed to pursue you, he's supposed to chase you, and then we tell men to overdo it. And it's like, no, do you not know in relationships we serving each other? So you shouldn't be looking like, oh, I need you to hurt yourself trying to make me happy before I know that you a real man. Or vice versa. So I feel like that what you just said with serving each other, that goes back to that. Like that's why we can't get it right, because you don't really understand the purpose of a relationship. It ain't about always taking. It's about what can you do to serve in that.
Which leads me to an old quote that we always heard. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? All right. So I gotta get into this, and I see you, Pierre. Real quick, I'm gonna put a pin on that. Come back to that. I want to know what you mean by this, Pierre. If you can give me some clarity. Pierre said, when self-fulfilling prophecy and love bombing meet you, get resentment and shame. If you can, brother.
So he's saying when self-fulfilling prophecy and love bombing when they meet together, then you start to get resentment and shame.
Oh, okay, man.
Yep.
Hey, look, I thought I was a deep brother. Right on.
No, Pierre, that's He's that he gonna take you there. He's that deep thinker. You probably need an extra conversation with him outside of here.
All right, look, we gonna have to chop it up here. Yeah, I like that. So the old term, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Which leads me to exclusive or commitment. And it seems like in today's society, people wonder why relationships are broken and whatnot. They wonder why they're not lasting. How come it's a high turnover, whatever the case may be? It's because the foundation of relationships has been so diluted. All right, it has been so diluted that people are not really embracing the whole point of coming together. Partnership is now the key, more so than union, more so than commitment, more so than marriage. Now it's like if you pursue marriage, it's like, what's the point? Like marriage ain't for everybody. We get that, we get that. But why make it hard for individuals that seek that? So instead of being honest, that most people desire exclusive connections versus commitment, people are not honest with themselves, one, prior to being honest with each other. Go ahead.
I don't like that term. I get it, but that's old. I feel like some of these things we need to revisit and just put them in the grave somewhere. Like, it sounded good at the time, but that doesn't work for this time. With the whole free milk, why buy the cow if you can get the free milk? When you really think about that, all that's talking about is sex. And that be our problem. Everybody is so sexual, but you don't know what other parts of you that you're supposed to elevate in to bring to the relationship to get the exclusivity that you want, to get the commitment that you want. We so busy talking about sex. Stop focusing on sex so much. Y'all make that such a big deal, and we are an overly sexualized generation, and you still ain't got nowhere with it but extra STDs and babies. So let's just stop focusing on why would he buy the cow if he get the milk for free. Let's stop focusing on that, and let's really get down to the root of character, integrity, and personalities. Like, that's what's gonna hold the relationship. Whether you wait till marriage for sex or not, that's not gonna guarantee you a committed, exclusive, healthy relationship. Like, we gotta take coin that little phrase and go on and dig a ditch for it and go on and bury it. We in a new generation. It's time. I'm tired of that cliche. I'm tired of hearing it.
Now, I will say, I don't see it as a cliche like Pierre. Now, as you said, you figure we probably disagree on this one. This is why I don't see it as an old cliche to be buried. One, I got two partners of mine. And then there's a comment I want to get to, Miss Monique. I see you. I got some partners of mine. The greatest advice that they ever shared with me was, when getting to meet somebody, take sex off the table. When you take sex off the table, you truly see the person you're getting to know. You truly see what connection y'all have, whatever the case may be. And I would tell you, as a heterosexual man, it ain't easy being in front of gorgeous, beautiful women, hanging out and whatnot, and not, being tempted. You know what I'm saying? However, there is a component, scientifically, spiritually, however you want to put it, all the isms, there is a connection. Whereas every time you connect with a person, you're taking on some of their energy, their spirit, and you're giving away some of yours. And as an individual who's focused on purpose, perfect will, instead of self-will, I understand for every woman I lay with that's not my wife, I'm imparting it to them and giving them something that should be set aside for my wife. And I'm a person that believes in that. I believe in anything that a man deposit into a woman is designed to multiply. And so why spread my seeds, through multiple women and whatnot, if there's not going to be a return on that investment outside of just the pleasure of releasing myself? So for me, I don't see it as an old cliche. I see it as wisdom that helps you in many ways. And it does. I mean, a lot of times you got to release yourself. You got to fast, and you got to get all this energy of that other person or persons. And the more people you lay with, the more energies you then took on. So I don't see it as a cliche in that aspect.
So I agree with what you're saying. When I say cliches are things that people say, but they really don't believe in. That's what cliches are. And they don't believe in that, because if they believed in that, we wouldn't have an over-sexualized generation. A man cannot sleep with you unless it's rape. A man cannot sleep with you unless you open them legs and let him. And the same women that are saying that phrase are lying to themselves, because what they gonna do? They gonna spread them legs when he get them flowers. So it's like, that's what I mean. I'm sick of the cliches, like you saying stuff to sound good, and when you begin to say stuff that sounds good, you're actually manipulating. You're trying to say that because you want this man to marry you, or you want him to be exclusive with you, but you're still giving him the milk, though. You're not celibate, you're not abstinent, but yet you saying that you using that phrase. So it's a cliche in that form. You saying something that you really don't believe in because your life don't line up with it. So that's what I'm saying. Let's bury that. Like, let's bury that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you take the sex off the table for spiritual reasons, cool. If that's your walk, cool. But overall, let's stop lying to ourselves. We really don't believe in that. Our life really don't line up with that whole phrase. Okay, it's a form of manipulation.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Answer me
this.
So
Answer this.
if that's not the case, I think you see it just like I see it. It seems to be a lot more masculine women that are openly extra sexualized and open about different partners and whatever body count, whatever. Like, hey, I like this. To me, it seemed to be that there are way more women that approach situations the way dudes would. Whereas, hey, I don't want anything serious. I just want something casual. When I call you, I need you to swing through. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think that's a part of taking on those energies and personality of dudes that they've been with? Now they're imitating and they're taking on those masculine energies.
I don't believe that, because I feel like, well, so this is where people probably gonna not like me saying this. So if you take on those energies before you're married, you still gonna take on the energy after you're married. So why is it that before I'm married, I'm so masculine by sleeping with different people, but after I'm married, I'm sleeping with this man that still got all his spirits, whether it's other people or not, he still got his inner demons and all that. And you want me to be submissive and feminine. So if I could be submissive and feminine after marriage, and I'm sleeping with a person who has a bunch of spirits in him, what's the difference with beforehand? That's just how I see it in that aspect. I don't feel like, I just don't. Sexual energy is a thing. It's a real thing. So I don't want people to confuse me saying that. I'm not saying it's not a real thing. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like women are masculine because they're sleeping around with so many men and they plant those seeds in them. I feel like we are looking at men and we're thinking we know what they want based on what men are paying attention to. And so then we try to do that. We know men love sex. We know that. And so we give them what we feel like we know that they like. And when it don't yield us the result that we want, which is, again, exclusivity or commitment, then we turn angry. Then that's when that so-called masculine come up. Oh, now I got to show you, you ain't finna play with me. So I don't necessarily blame that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get to a comment that I agree with, and that I've spoken on, and yeah, I'm gonna have to get my guy on live. All right, so hold on, no, I'm gonna show you. So you know how the word of God tell you to be watch what you allow to your ear and your eye gates. You know what I'm saying? All right, those are the windows to the soul. My man, all right, I appreciate this comment. That's the music, TV, and movies. Women are definitely tapping into their masculinity, and when you listen to the Glorillas and the Sexy Reds and the Spice and the whoever's of the world, it's just like how you guys say pretty girls like trap music. You know what I'm saying? The more and more you get into that and you allow that to be the main source of feeding to your spirit, the more you take on that energy. And so, like you said, I agree. When you're adopting that, it makes it easier to participate in activities and be over sexualized when that's the majority of what you hear now. There is no balance of music right now. There's no balance of entertainment. When you look at the TV movies and the TV shows that we used to have what was called rom-com. We used to have goofy, romantic cinema movies, and that was before DVDs and tapes came out. Since everything went digital, it hurt it. Why? Because they knew box office wise, they weren't going to sell a bunch of movie tickets, but they were going to sell DVDs and VHSs or whatever. Since all that's out the window, now all your movies are diluted. All of them are the same. If it ain't an action Marvel movie or something, it's over sexualized. When you listen to your music, all the main songs in radio, that's why most people are appreciative, your boy coming out with mindful music. So I agree. What are your thoughts on the comment on the screen? Yo, guy.
Pierre said? Yeah. I mean, and that's why I said I don't necessarily blame the sexual encounter of, you sleeping with this person, that's why you're masculine. I think that's a small percentage of it. I think everything else that we feed in our soul is why, quote unquote, women are becoming more masculine, or those, like, those little reality TV shows that's all about drama. Like, you're feeding yourself everything that deals with, that takes you away from femininity. You're feeding yourself that all these women want to talk about. They want a soft life. They ready to be in their soft era, but you're not engaging in things that put you in the soft realm. What they say is they want this man to come put them in a soft era. And I say that's why you'll never be in your soft era, because it's femininity is ours to own. A man cannot come put you in that soft era. You have to be cultivating that from within. A man, I've seen it myself plenty of times. Men will come being the masculine man they need to be, the provider, everything. And that woman is so strong that she oversteps everything he do. She's so mad. She's so angry. So it ain't up to that man to put you in that soft era, baby girl. That's an inner work. You gotta get to work.
You want to take this
Ain't
one?
no shortcuts.
I read
You
it out.
read it?
Go
Okay.
ahead. No,
you read it.
All right. I like this. So women have become progressively more independent, i.e. masculine, because of the lack of covering, which I agree. It's a lot of that going on. Those of us with fathers are raising us to be independent, so we do not have to be subjugated in harmful situations. I agree. My mom taught me how to cook and do all these things, so I wouldn't call her. Interesting enough, Biggie said, I'm going to get my daughter that college plan so she doesn't have to depend on no man. All right. Hey, look, I agree. My mom, same thing. Mama, Ivanis, thank you. Because coming up, my mom did. She put stuff out on the table, said, here, learn how to cook this, learn how to cook, learn how to clean, learn how to sew. I don't need y'all calling talking about y'all wife ain't doing for y'all. And on the reverse side, dads do that for their daughters. And covering is a multitude of things, especially spiritual. And you don't have a lot of men that are spiritually covering their families. So I do agree with that. You want to take the mic on that one?
No, go ahead. Yep. Yes.
Go ahead.
I agree.
Okay.
Look, okay, I want you to finish that and take the mic, but this is what I'm gonna add to that. There's not a lot of men. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you said I had feedback. There's not a lot of men that's taking that covering. And we gotta ask ourselves, who's raising the men? Most women are raising the men. And that shows you in itself, a woman can't teach a man how to be a man. So until we stop the cycle, so I'm not with my son's father. But guess what I do? I get men in his life. I don't wait for me to have a partner to say I need a covering. I got uncles, I got friends that are men to come check I got coaches. He got coaches that I all invite in to help me raise him.
Right.
So we got to stop also thinking, well, ain't no man in this house. Da, 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 da. Okay, calm down, relax. You don't have to have a man in that house to teach that son and raise that son to show him how to be a covering. It's your job. If a man ain't in that house, it's your job to get him around men who's going to help him. Because if not, we're going to keep raising sons who don't know how to be a covering.
Now, I have something to add on that. Without getting off the topic, I would say this. It's a reason why some guys don't that prefer women without children in some cases. Not that they have an issue with it. I'm just gonna tell y'all, most brothers that I talk to, most good dudes that I know, is most dudes try to avoid making a connection with the kids unless they're gonna be permitted to have that bond. Some dudes are great, have the opportunity to be great mentors, but some mothers, they feel if we're not in a relationship and if I can't have them, my kids can't have them. And I get that. You have to be mindful of that. However, you got big brothers, big sisters, boys and girls club, and all these other centers you send your kids off to, coaches that pick them up, so on and so forth. If you met a good dude that has established a bond, he's a good, safe dude, and he can teach your kid and provide wisdom and whatever the case may be. Most dudes get burnt out with meeting kids being disconnected. And so there's a wisdom, whereas stop introducing your kids to all these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's burnout in that area as well. It ain't that men have issues, with meeting kids or dating women with kids, in most cases, most parents are not using wisdom on the introduction of their kids to new individuals, regardless of the nature or the status of the relationship. So you got to use wisdom. You got to protect them, but you also got to know a good source for them. If somebody's a good source for teaching them something and implementing some manly traits or some womanly traits, that's for single dads too, because there are some single dads out there that it's the same thing. If there's a young lady, a woman, you know what I'm saying, that's good for your daughter to learn from, and she, you know, she's old enough to say, hey, I want to call, whatever the case may be, understand how to manage those relationships with taking yourself out of it, of being selfish. So I just wanted to drop that nugget because I see a whole lot of that, whereas it's more of a selfish aspect versus are you truly trying to provide your child some resources? Hold on. Okay. What you say, Twyla? So Twyla say facts. Who's raising the men? I'm raising my son alone because my husband worked too much. God is our leader. And so, look, I'm not going to touch that because you just said you and your husband, you put God in there. I ain't going to touch that one. I'm going to use wisdom. I'm going to pray for y'all. I ain't going to even pray for a different job, whatever the case may be. Thank you for sharing that. I know how to say other people's business.
I was just so be careful what you say.
Hey, y'all, look, y'all ain't gonna cancel me before I get started back. Look, I ain't even been on here a good 40 minutes yet. You know what I'm saying? I've been missing in action for a minute. So and plus I don't want a husband coming after me. So we're gonna move this on along. So friends and family advice.
Wait.
Okay.
Go back.
All right, go back.
Because you sent me a format and so I want you to explain your thoughts on that. So you said in the format you said exclusive. She said thank you. Hey.
Oh, you're welcome. I know better. A brother was married before. I know the rules of marriage.
Hey.
So.
Some things you don't touch. But can you explain, because I do feel like as a whole, I do feel like we are wrapped up in confusion in this. So you made a comment to me and you said exclusively dating is not the same as a committed relationship. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go ahead and explain what you meant by that?
All right, I'll put that on the screen. While I'm putting it on the screen, commercial break. If y'all see me lifting this little green bottle, this is apple juice. All right, your boy is not getting lit on live. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. This is Martinelli's. This is a free commercial. Hey, this is fire. All right, so just want to put that out there. I didn't have my water with me tonight, so it's not a wine cooler. It's straight apple juice. It's apple juice.
Tell the pastor.
All right, so to give you the difference between the two. So exclusive dating refers to a stage in a romantic relationship where two people have mutually agreed to only date each other and not see other people. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're committing and whatever the case may be. I would say commitment involves sharing responsibilities, going to the stage where now you may potentially share finances. You may move in together, whatever the case may be. Now you're integrating your lives, whether that's work, school, kids, whatever the case may be. So exclusive is if I just want to sleep with you and I don't want you sleeping with nobody else. When I want to go to a movies, go to a show, you're the person, you're the partner that I go with. I don't need other people's energy and whatever the case may be. One of the reasons why that's really important is because when you juggling folks, if person A piss you off and do something and mess up your energy, person B didn't have nothing to do with that. If they call right behind person A and your energy is off, that's throwing y'all connection off. So juggling folks and having mixed relationships is very dangerous. So exclusive is simply saying we're going to court, get to know each other for a duration of time, whether that's just the standard of I never want to be committed, I never want to get married, I don't believe in marriage. I only want exclusive connection with somebody that when I want someone to lay with, hold, cuddle with, watch a movie, it's you. I'm yours. All right. Commitment is let's work toward engagement and a long life, and we're integrating our life together. That now it really makes sense what a person credit looks like. Now it really makes sense what a person career field is. Now it makes sense what investments, what's their spending habits, how do they handle situations, whatever the case may be. Sometimes we jump the gun. We want to know all of that information in the get to know you stage, in the meeting stage, where is, hey, let me check your spirit first. So in the introduction exclusive stage, you need to be checking somebody's spirit. You need to be checking to see if God is permitting you guys or if that's who he chose and assigned to you. And so a lot of times people skip exclusive and jump to commitment. And they don't even look at commitment of what goes into commitment and the sacrifice. So in commitment, it requires a sacrifice. Exclusive doesn't require as much as a sacrifice as commitment. You got your life, you pay your bills, you do what you do. I got my life, I pay mine. What most people are seeking when they want to meet somebody is, can you afford to cover both of our lives currently? However long exclusive works for people should be the stage where that person has grace to get to know them and whatever, not if they can pay your bills. And so people skip exclusive and getting to know each other, and they jump directly to commitment. What does it look like? What lifestyle will we have if I choose you?
Yep. I've posted this plenty of times, and I ain't gonna stop posting it. I said at our big old age, we still don't know what dating is. We still don't know what dating is. A lot of us get mad, and that's why we got this thing called situationships. And we're having babies in situationships. So we're having babies with people that we are dating, or he said, "Hold on,
no,
you want to stop talking?" Oh,
no, keep going.
And we're having babies. We're having babies with people that we are dating and or not even dating. We just talking and having sex. So I feel like at our big old age, and I'm 37, my age and older, we still don't know what dating is. And I feel like we got to break the cycle. We got to have these conversations, because if we don't learn it, we can't teach it to the younger ones. And if the younger ones don't learn it, you already know how that cycle goes. So I'm like, with dating, we got people, you're dating me. We get to the point we having sex. You think I'm supposed to pay a bill. We're dating. I'm not committed to you. Your bills ain't my bills. I don't have to be committed in that way to you. I don't have to cook for you if I don't want to. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I'm getting to know your spirit. We don't ask the right questions. We watch movies together. We cuddle. We go bowling together. We go out to the club together. We do all that fun googly stuff, right? And then we feel a connection through that, which is a surface level connection. And then all of a sudden, what are we? What you mean, what are you? You ain't even asked the proper questions.
Bingo.
And you thinking about a committed relationship already?
So my girl Mo say, kind of feel like that's shelving. How is exclusive without commitment? The only way I see that working is a non-sexual relationship. And I agree. So in the beginning of the video, what I was sharing was my partners gave me the best advice ever. Take sex off the table. You'll see who you're really dating and getting to know. And so that is an aspect of being exclusive or whatever the case may be. And if you can stand being around somebody, I'm going to tell you, the more you like somebody, the more you connect with somebody, the more tempted you're going to get. And whatever the case may be. So you may not be able to boo up and Netflix and chill at their house if you don't feel like you may fold like fresh laundry. All right. So I do believe in that. Same page, saying the same thing. I was just saying that earlier. Sometimes you got to take that off the table and avoid situations where you're going to fold like fresh laundry.
Yeah. I feel like, and it's going to be the next one I know you finna jump into. I feel like we need to keep people out of our business. You need to learn you. First of all, learn how you date, learn how you want to date. Stop dating how everybody else is dating. Stop dating how they tell you to date. Learn you, keep that stuff quiet, because we're also the type of people we want to post everything. You want to post somebody, then somebody come out the woodworks talking about, oh, I was just with this person 3 weeks ago or whatever. And now it's a problem. It's like when you're exclusively dating, this stuff needs to be a bond between y'all. Y'all need to be really getting to know each other on every level. The questions that you don't want to ask because you feel like it's gonna run them away, ask it. That's the
Right.
perfect time to ask it, because if they run, guess what? You done saved yourself a headache. Those hard questions is what needs to be asked in the dating stage. You're trying to learn their personality. You're trying to learn how they gonna fold. You need to learn what ticks them off, what makes them mad. Like, we want to keep the googly stuff in the beginning and then jump into the relationship, and then you say they changed. They ain't changed. They just had that mask on because all y'all did was surface level things. Now, once you get into actually saying we committed, then introduce the kids, then introduce them to the families, then go out and really do family engagements. But we want to do all of that and we only dating, and that's
Mhm.
why the lines start to get blurred and confused a lot. I didn't see none of them comments you put up there.
Oh, hey, look, you got
I mean,
look.
I saw them, but I didn't read them because I was talking.
Oh, that's okay. Look, play it back. Hold on. What? Look, here go one right here. So Pierre said we don't engage. I love this comment right here, y'all. All right, so my guy Pierre said we don't engage in tough conversations until we are in too deep. Man, and I'm gonna expound on this one. We have to learn to go as deep as we can earlier on. Too much surface level conversations. I love it, man. And the reason why I love that is because I'm a person whereas I'm going to address something. I'm a person that I say what I mean what I say. And not only that, if I see something that makes me uncomfortable, if I see something that can be an issue, I address it. You know, I go into great details. I'm a person whereas I believe Brittany had shared a comment earlier about how women are not allowing guys to sucker them into situations. All right. Same with dudes. Stop being suckers. Stop being chumps and stop being scared to say what and stand on business because you're afraid she may walk away. I'm gonna tell you now, if a person, male or female, I don't, if you're a woman and you're afraid a dude gonna leave you, if you're a man, you're afraid a woman gonna leave you, they ain't meant for you anyway. All right. So if you stand on business and you express to them, something that you dislike, whatever the case may be, or if you see something about them that needs to be addressed, you can't be a chump about something. The one thing that I hate is happy wife, happy life. Now that's one that we need to bury because
Absolutely.
you punking out, man. Stop, I'm not saying, it's a term that God gave me. I was in prayer and I was just sharing this with a brother last Saturday. And I love this term that God gave me. And I was in prayer and I was talking to this big bulky dude that used to be a police officer. And I was telling him that I love that I can tell that he still maintained his masculine energy while displaying the gentleness of God. And that's what men need to learn. Instead of just falling back and trying to avoid, situations, you got to maintain your masculinity while displaying the gentleness of God. You got to learn patience. You got to learn how to talk, in a way where you're not yelling and you're not overly aggressive, but you still got to stand on business. And I think that's an issue why most people don't address situations and they stay surface level. They only go to lifestyle. They only go to the lifestyle aspect of dating versus, really getting into the depth of, I learned something from somebody about how they pay their bills. I say, look, well, what I was taught, take this Excel spreadsheet, you got the phone numbers and the emails, and then you got the due dates for all the bills and whatever. You know what she told me? She was like, nah, I pay them all at the same time. I don't wait for no due date. I go ahead, I go down the list. If it's something due, I pay it. I don't care if it's the 5th or whatever date it is. If it ain't due to the 21st, I pay it. I get it out the way. And credit crazy. And so that's one of those things whereas we have to learn to have real conversations because everybody you meet should advance you. There's a purpose of why you're meeting people. Go ahead.
You gotta put people to the test. I feel like we scared to put people to the test. There was a post going around. I ain't gonna even repeat the post because I was so tired of arguing with people about it. People's like, oh, that's playing games. No, you need to put people to the test. You got to sit there. You got to see how people fold under pressure. You got to see how they think when it comes to finances. You got to see how they think when it comes to the kids. Like, they don't have to be around your kids for you to discuss how they think about parenting. it's like it's the conversations we're running from, and we're just like, well, I'll deal with it when it comes to it. And you wasting a lot of people waste their time. No, we can still have fun and talk deep conversations. We can make it fun. You don't have to be all spooky and you know angry and all that. Make it
Mhm.
fun
Right.
to have those hard conversations.
I like that. Leaders
Yeah,
advocate.
Monique.
Huh?
I say
Yeah.
yeah, Monique. Yep.
Look, hey, that's another one you got to get with. Cause look, she keep it real. Uh,
Okay.
you ready for the friends and family? We
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Look. Now, I just want to make sure because you wanted clarity. I want to make
Well, these right, no, and you good. You gave the clarity. We did a little talk. You know, people commented. It was good, but it's just like these conversations. It's good that we having them now, right? But guess what? We all got to reprogram ourselves. So it's gonna take way more conversations, repetitive
right.
conversations like these for some of us to get it. Like you said, one plant the seed, the other gonna water, and then God gonna give that increase when it's time to get that increase. So I'm
All right.
ready. Next topic.
So before I go to the next topic, commercial break. All right. So for those of you, hey, she be tickled when I say commercial break. I'm gonna have to get.
No,
I'm gonna have to get.
water gone.
Oh man. I still got my coconut water. So for those of you that's on the Instagram side, I believe Instagram cuts us off at an hour. We're about 9 minutes away. So there are two other platforms that you can join in on. You can find me on YouTube, Balancing Life with Leo Richards. I went on and opened it back up. And then, of course, you can come over on Bookface to the Blue app. And so go on the Blue app. If you follow me there, you'll see it pop up. So we only got a few more minutes with Instagram, probably about 9 minutes or so or less. And so come on over to the Blue app or over to the Tube. All right. So I'll make another announcement in 5 minutes, just in case. All right. So friends and family advice. Now, hold on. I see
I'm just laughing.
she like
I'm
a
just
cat.
laughing.
She ready to jump on this. Before we
No, I'm just laughing.
before we give our 2 cents on this, I would like to say this. When it comes to friends and family advice, individuals, whatever, just know it's with good intentions, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's hating, not everybody's giving bad advice, whatever. And some of the things that I'm going to say may seem contradictory to what I just said. But before I go into that, I say this. I got an auntie, and because I love all my aunties the same, I don't want none of them get on me. I won't name which one that said this. But I have an auntie that follows me, and we have conversations. And it feels like whenever she gives me her wisdom, which she's an amazing, intelligent woman. Whenever I feel like a kid again. I am currently 42 years old. And when I talk to this auntie, it feels like I'm a kid. Like all I have to say is yes, ma'am. And sometimes there's things that she says, and sometimes there's advice. Well, a lot of times, majority of the time, over 90% of the times, when she says something, it make me go, huh, you know what? You're right. I'm going to restructure my delivery on how I approach these situations or whatever the case may be. Now, with that being said, that's this auntie. There are some other aunties that I just be like, yeah, okay. All right. So what am I saying? An old pastor of mine gave me some advice. Eat the fish, spit out the bones. All right. That's some old school country wisdom that stands true. So not all wisdom is bad. Not all wisdom is good. Not all bad advice is completely bad. Another old quote, even a broken clock is twice, 2 times a day. All right. So eat the fish, spit out the bones. There's some aspect of what's being said that you can take from it, but don't take the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're an individual. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Miss Brandy and let her give her take on it, and then I'm gonna come back. Oh, you ain't ready for it yet? You ain't ready?
I mean,
keep going.
Keep going.
All right. So another point that I wanted to make on that. Look, y'all, I ain't want to hog the mic. I know y'all like listening to Miss Brandy. She be cracking me up. It works. You know what I'm saying? It just works. That's why I'm always hitting her up. She think it's just because I don't want to be by myself on here, but we do great together. So another aspect is you have to realize that all relationships are designed the same. There are some individuals that you can aspire to reach their goal, whether it be their lifestyle, whether it be their spiritual walk, whether it be career-wise, whatever the case, you can surround yourself by individuals that are doing greater and better than you in an area. They're not going to do better across the board, but there are certain areas that people are more advanced. I'm a person that I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the smartest person on this internet. I don't want to be the smartest person on the web page. There has to be somebody that I can go to give me wisdom. There are friends and family members that, yes, depending on the area, there's family members I go to for stock advice. Hey man, can you tell me about this? But I dang on sure ain't gonna ask them about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They don't never pick it up. All right. There are some people I may ask them, hey, there's this woman I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? This is the situation. What you think? There are some men I'm gonna go to that I respect their walk. And it ain't that they're perfect. It ain't that they haven't had issues in their relationships or whatever the case may be. It ain't that they ain't never been divorced, whatever. No, these brothers' hearts are right. They have wisdom. They're operating in a place that I love and respect. So there are individuals that their fruit, all right, examine the fruit. All right, the Bible teaches us to examine the fruit of the tree. All right, if they're offering you an orange and it's apparently an apple tree, you already know to look at them sideways, be like, come on now, bro. So advice from friends and family, some of them, let them talk. But if you can't throw them a couple of inches, take that advice. You ain't got to tell them no thank you. You know what I'm saying? Dump it right into the trash bank in your mind. All right? So we got to learn how to navigate these conversations, even with our parents. You know what I'm saying? It comes a time where your parents have to release you. And parents, it comes a time where you got to let your kids. All right? So I'm going to give my mom another shout out. I'm going to tell y'all something. Whereas I was 19, you know what I'm saying? I had my first apartment and I came across this car that I wanted to buy. And so I hit my mom up. Hey, mom, hey, I need to move back in for a couple of months. You know, at this time I had like 2 jobs or whatever. So I was good. And my mom said no. And I'm like, hold on. But you let my other siblings move back in. A couple of them that moved in and out and in and out. Like a couple of times, like, she said, nah, you good. And so I was heated. I'm like, seriously, Mom, you really ain't gonna let me move back in? Like, all I need is to say this up. I had it mapped out. She said, nah, you're not like them. You different. You'll figure it out. And so my mom told me no. At the time, I was heated. For about a good hour or two, it didn't carry on long because, truth be told, I really didn't want to move back in. I really didn't want to give up my own place. But I figured the only way to have enough for a car, which I didn't know about credit, I didn't know how to do none of that stuff at the time, was go back to familiar territory and go back there. My mom was wise enough not to let me go back to familiar territory. Why? Because as I grew older, that's what I would continue to do. Go back to familiar territory, a safe space, versus taking on the challenge. So sometimes we know advice and certain individuals we're allowing advice from isn't good ground. But it's familiar territory, it's a safe space, and it doesn't challenge us. And, you know, so that's what I feel in regards to advice. There's a lot of people that shows a lot of great wisdom. However, we have to know that sometimes some of the best advice comes from outside of our circle. And that's, you know, this is a big, huge world, over 8 billion people. You ain't telling me that all the advice and the wisdom is just within your circle. That's why they diversify corporations to grow. You got to be diversified in your circle.
Yeah. I want to add to that as far as relationships go. Whew, when it comes to family and friends, my advice to that is majority of them need to be kept out of your relationship status, out of your relationship situation. I feel like it's as good as you could say, okay, my family love me, they want the best for me and all of that. And that could be true, right? but they want the best for you at the idea of what the best for you is that they created. So they don't know this person that you're with. They're not building a relationship with this person. They're not living with this person. They're not sleeping with this person. They're not trying to build a family and kids with this person. So they can only give you advice based off the information you give them and based off their own bias. I don't believe in putting people in your business, because not only that, you can think that, okay, they got my best interest at heart, but over time, they're going to start resenting your partner if they're constantly hearing negative stuff about your partner. And they're going to wonder, why are you still there? They did X, Y, and Z. And then it don't matter what good stuff your partner did. Don't matter how many good things they did. That bad stuff is going to stick in their mind. I've seen people who have done that plenty of times with family. The family that got to the point they done lashed out at the partner to the point where now the partner won't attend no family functions. And they sent her like, just go. No, you want me to go to a family function and make it seem like we're all such a big, happy family and go against myself and my peace just to make you happy when you the one put them in our business? No, I'm not doing that. So I feel like we need to find therapists, life coaches. We need to find family members who are literally unbiased. And you have to know that these people are unbiased. I'm not talking about people who just love you dearly and do it. I just care about you so much, I'm always there. I ain't talking about them, because they can be there for you and be very biased. So that's my take on just dealing with friends and family. Like my current friends know I'm dealing with somebody now. I've been dealing with him for 4 months. My current friends can't barely tell you anything about him, because I have not. We're in that, as you stated earlier, we're in that dating stage. We haven't committed to the relationship yet to expose each other to everybody. So I don't need to put them. They don't know him. They're not dating him. I don't need to put them in our business. I'm still learning him. I'm still learning his past relationships and yada yada yada. So you don't have to tell people your business. You really don't. You don't have to tell people your business. I don't know why we feel like we just gotta vent to them. No, you don't. Go pay for a therapy session real fast or something like that. Like I tell women, it ain't just a man's job to protect you, it's your job to protect him. And one way to protect him is keep people out of your business. Don't give them no darts to be able to throw at him at any given time. My 2 cents.
Now, I agree. And another aspect that I've told many people, if it's something that's hard for us to accomplish, I'll let anybody know. Like, I don't mind discussing anything, but when I see that it's hard for me to get through to you, I recommend let's find a third party that doesn't know neither one of us. They don't have the true sides. If we got to pay for it, fine. But sometimes you have to integrate a session with somebody that don't know neither one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be a person that can be honest, and truthful and whatnot. Like most say, there's a unique balance that's super hard to achieve. You know what I'm saying? And
a lot of people can't achieve it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
A lot of the people cannot achieve it because it's hard. You have to take yourself out of the situation. And a lot of times our friends and family can't. We project our hurt. We project, hey, therapist. She say, therapist to y'all. Look, she said, do not. See, the licensed therapist is saying, don't go to your family. But yeah, it's a lot of people, they can't obtain that balance because they project their hurts. You got to think, a lot of your family still healing from past hurts. A lot of your family, they may not want to despise you looking like you have a happy relationship, but when they're not healed, some of that envy and jealous start creeping up a little bit. And it's almost like, you sure you happy? Like, come on now. What you mean? Like, what's that little thing that's in your voice? What do you mean? You sure you happy? So I wouldn't even play with it. You got to keep the friends and family out unless you know for sure they got that balance where they're going to be super unbiased.
Yeah, and this is something just from my take. I was reading something before where it was, I think it had something to do with therapy or whatever, and it was recommending not to overutilize friends, loved ones, you know, whatever the case may be, those closest to you as your only source of venting. It's not saying don't communicate with them. It's not saying don't tell them, you know, you need somebody to talk to. It's we're human, all right? It's just like the 10 virgins, you know, and you know, the ones that had their oil, the ones that was running out. And when they asked them to borrow their oil so they can make the journey to see Jesus being born, they were like, man, I can't give you my oil because I'm gonna run out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to go to the city, buy you some more. By the time they bought some, came back, they didn't miss the whole birth of Christ. And that's what we have to realize, you know, not just from an anointing standpoint, you know, not just from that standpoint, but also emotionally, your mental health, all of that. You know, you have to realize not to be too much of a burden on people and bleeding on people. And that's in going into relationships. If you haven't taken time to get that out your system, if you went into something deep with somebody, you really need to go sit down for a season and go without dating at all. And some people just can't go without hearing a voice on the phone. Some people can't go without having somebody to accompany them. I personally, I date myself all the time. You know, I go somewhere, I'm sitting by myself, I do my own thing. That's just me. I'm comfortable. And I've had plenty of women tell me is different from women, but I know some personally that do it and have a ball by themselves. And so it's an aspect that people bleed on other people because they don't take the time to heal. They don't take the time to go through therapy. They don't take the time to get deliverance. And so, you know, there's a real aspect that sometimes people are giving you advice from a perspective that's narrow, and they don't have the whole picture to really speak wisdom upon.
So I like that you said that too, because I've seen people say, I've seen quite a few people in my color of culture say, I don't need no therapist. I don't need nobody telling me what to do. Yes, you do. You know why? Because if that therapist who don't know you or your partner tell you the exact thing your family been saying, then voila, there's a problem that you need to fix that you're running from because your family is saying it. Now you got a stranger telling you. Confirmation. I think a lot of people run from therapy or mentorship or life coaching. I think they run from that because a lot of people don't want to look in that mirror and take that accountability on what I need to change. It's always about, well, if you do this and the other, then I'll be this better person. No, you should want to be a better person just for you and yourself individually.
All right, so commercial break. We got a testimonial here, y'all. All right, so when I share this, don't blow up Conquering Relationships inbox unless you're ready to purchase a session. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you can blow the inbox up. It's gonna send you right to the website. Go ahead, blow it up.
Yeah, go and blow it up. It's going. Hey, I showed messages. It was an auto reply. Here, go to the website. I like that.
Yes.
So my guy say, well, I'm glad I said my business to y'all too. LOL. I know Leo has been on point with advice. Leo gonna lead you to the answer you already know, as well as Brandy and therapy helping. All right, so I'm gonna touch base on that, and then you know he spoke about journaling in the next comment. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. One of the reasons why me and this young lady can rock so tight is because you know we real, we honest. If you message me and you ask me my take on something, if I'm led to give you an answer, most times I'm not gonna answer to spare your feelings. I'm gonna give you the truth. All right. That don't mean I'm insensitive. It doesn't mean I'm non-empathetic. I empathize with you, but I like you and love you more than I dislike you. So I'm gonna give you the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All right. So I appreciate my brother. I got a partner. I still consider him a partner. I ain't talked to him in a couple of years because instead of me saying something, I refuse to speak something into the atmosphere. Now, do I regret it? Nope. Just like I told Therapist Twyla, I ain't speaking on nobody marriage. I did the same thing back then. Nah, bro, you ain't gonna get me to put that in the atmosphere. That's your marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pray for y'all. But now I say it. Nah, you ain't gonna get me to say nothing. You married, bro. And so if you got friends, family, and individuals that can easily speak against your marriage, against your significant other, they not for you. You know what I'm saying? And you're allowing them to be too doggone comfortable that they can speak against your significant other. All right. So be mindful of people that can freely speak against you, not speak in love to help you and help you get through something and tell you the truth that's going to help you get past something. But somebody that can speak against the person that you're with, that's their bitterness that they're bleeding off on you. Don't let people bleed off on you. They're hurt and their ability not to be healed. Understand who you with. Like Brandy was saying before, they don't know the person you dating and who you rocking with like personally like you do. You getting to know that person. So situations are dangerous to share with people because you don't know if they've healed from their situation that was similar. What they won't tolerate and what they would throw away ain't the same. You got to live with that. So don't be taking situations to people and making your choices based on the advice of somebody that may not have healed from their own situations. Mm-hmm. So we got to be careful about that. So thank you, Auntie, for all that great wisdom. So like I said, it's going to be balanced and whatnot.
I'm gonna throw in a wrench right here. I like how you said that those that ain't healed from their situation. Because I've done a post before. For those who don't know me, I am divorced. And I did a post before and I was like, you know what? Y'all don't like single people speaking on relationships or quote unquote giving relationship advice. I said, but it's these people that's in relationships and marriages y'all need to watch. Because I'm seeing some of the stuff that they say, and I'm looking like, how are you married or in a relationship giving that type of advice? So it ain't about even a title. You got to look at the character and you got to look at the integrity of the person. You got to look at the seeds that they're planting. Are they planting seeds of unhealedness? Are they planting seeds of discord? Are they planting seeds of division? Or are they planting seeds that for one is rooted in accountability and they're rooted in love and solutions like resolutions? But it's people with those titles, they just as worse as there's the single people. So you don't look at the titles, look at the character of that person and their, as you said, their unhealedness or their healedness.
All right, so I left that up for a reason, for the balance of statement that I just made. And I absolutely agree. Yes, do not overutilize, but there's a reason predators and abusers isolate people from friends and family. All right. There is a balanced behavior. There is a balance. So she's saying behavior scientist here, a PhD in it. So that is true. And so I would say this, with that being said, I try to be mindful of what I'm saying on here because one statement can be taken 100 different ways depending on your circumstance. And that was a term that I used, in a post. And, because I went doing videos, I really didn't get an opportunity to really thoroughly explain it, which was trauma jacking. And trauma jacking, I hadn't seen it nowhere. I don't even know if it's a real word. It was just something that I realized people do. And when I say trauma jacking, it's if I express something that hurt me, disappointed me, and I'm getting attention, say this video right here. Somebody will come and say, no, that's not what it is. It's this. I realize sometimes if a spotlight is being shined on the topic, and I'm not saying that that's what Mo is doing, but it gave me an opportunity to express that, yes, predators and abusers are real, and people need to get their story out. And I'm saying this for the sake of understand and be able to identify when people are crying out to say, I need help. So when people are hijacking your stories or hijacking comments or whatever the case may be, sometimes that's a crowd that they need some attention. They need somebody to take heed to something that they're dealing with. And yes, when you're in certain relationships, whatnot, there are people that specialize in separating you from the people that love you and whatnot. And there are people that get overwhelmed, whether it's Stockholm syndrome, whatever the case may be. I'm not a specialist. I won't go through naming and trying to put a name on certain things. I'm gonna leave that to the PhD folks. You know, my job, as I said at the beginning of the video, is to drop seeds. So I may not have all the terms. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fake the funk like I got it all, but I know how to drop the seed and then pass the baton and let Mo or somebody water it, and then let Pastor Mo at Victory get the reap of the harvest. My job with these videos, drop them seeds. All right. So some terms I'm not gonna have, y'all. But I am mindful and understand that with certain topics, people have different life experiences. And so these topics are going to hit different. So I don't take it no type of way. That's why I post your comments on here now, because you know I don't feel like I got all the answers. I'm a know-it-all. No, if somebody on this joint and they got some wisdom, it helps me too. So that's why I say post your comments, because I will post it on the screen because somebody needs to see it.
Yeah, I tell people we gotta be careful with putting on a shoe that does not fit. Like these conversations has to be had. They gotta be had. We can't avoid them just because you're triggered by something. Nobody on here, I'm not saying nobody on here is triggered. Look, let me get a disclaimer. But we can't not talk about something because somebody is triggered about something, or because somebody said no, that's not the truth. That may not be your truth, but that's somebody else's truth. So I tell people, like, if you aren't able to approach conversations, especially public conversations on social media, if you're not able to approach these conversations with the idea of it being a general conversation, like
Mm-hmm.
not investing yourself, inserting yourself into the seat, like like I'm talking to you. If you can't do that, then it's best you not engage in it, because we gonna say some stuff that's gonna help somebody else and it may trigger you. But these conversations are never to purposely trigger anybody or never purposely to beat nobody down, but they gotta be had. And somebody is gonna get help from it. Even if you ain't getting help, somebody is gonna get help from it. So we gotta address these situations from a general standpoint and not necessarily a personal, oh, you attacking me, you said you don't agree with me that I said don't talk to your family. What? Like, no, that ain't no. Because some people do need to talk to their family. Some people got them families where, hey, they gonna hold you accountable. They gonna tell you, nah, you the one wrong. They ain't gonna judge your partner. You do got family members that are like that. But from a general sense, that's not really how it always works out when it comes to friends and family, and you giving them the tea on your partner doing wrong.
I'm gonna address something right here. So that word triggered, I want to address the word triggered. My guy say sometimes people don't know they are triggered by something that's meant to help them and not hurt them. Man, that's so true. So another Leoism, so what I identify triggered as is a shared emotional response. And so you have to realize, whether it's visually, whether you see something, whether you hear a word, whether it's an action, and whatnot, and whatever, it's a shared emotional response from the past, from a situation, whatever the case may be. And most people have now started trying to identify what to avoid versus healing and moving past, and then just knowing. And I can be wrong on this, but for me, it helped to heal from the trespasses of others. Why? Because now I don't look for character traits of my ex in a person that's in front of me to avoid that person if they show signs of anything similar to my ex. I now, one, understand the discernment, the relationship, and the guidance of being led, through my foundation of Christ. Two, I trust that I can identify certain aspects to reject. I don't have to seek them out to have an excuse. And a lot of people are failing to establish healthy connections and bonds because they're fixated on the moment they find something that seems too similar to what hurt them, reject. Everything is going to the reject basket because you won't deal with the hurt. You won't heal yourself. You won't get therapy. You won't deal with the situation. I can't go in life hating every woman and being skeptical of every woman because of what didn't work from somebody else, and feel, well, heck no, I ain't dealing with that no more the moment I see this. And so we have a lot of that. And so I agree, a lot of times, unhealed, trauma, and let's be real, y'all. I'm gonna be real. Not all of these situations are going to be resolved immediately. It takes consistent work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not naive to think you can go to a session for a month or 2 weeks or a year or however long, and then you void of those situations. You may need to take a break in between sessions, whatever. I'm not a specialist. I'm a seed dropper. All right. I'm gonna get a t-shirt, seed dropper. All right. So I got a specialist in the comment section. She know way better than I do, but I'm gonna drop the seed to let you know it's consistent work that's needed so that you can embrace these relationships. Because I said in the beginning, I love love. I want to see more healthy relationships. I want to see more men desiring marriage, not just partnership. I don't want people to get my words twisted. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I love love. I love seeing old folks, holding hands and whatnot. I'm one of them dudes, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in the gym, I'll knock you out, but then I'll still be cheesing hard as I'll get out if I see a old couple on Instagram. All right, so it's the balance of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, me and Germany is actually doing a book club that starts Sunday, and the book is actually called Triggers that we're actually going to be hosting on. And there's been plenty of times in that book already, and we've only read up to chapter 2 for Sunday. There's plenty of things in there that I had to stop because I had got a knot in my throat because I'm like, dang, that hurt. And I'm like, I thought I was over that. So I tell people all the time, triggers are not bad. We want to make triggers, is how you react to those triggers is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the triggers are not bad in itself. The triggers are only things that are coming up to show you like, hey, I'm not healed from this place like I thought. A lot of us, we repress things or suppress things, whichever word you want to use. We push it under the rug and we don't deal with them at that time, and we cover it with a band-aid. And then when it's time to move to your next level in life, the blessings that you ask God for, it's like, okay, well, let me peel that band-aid on back, and then boom, here go a trigger. And you like, what? It ain't to run from the trigger. It's to look at yourself. It's to look within. It's to see like, what part am I not healed from? Because until you heal that part, that level of it, when you get to that next level, that trigger is holding on to your leg. It's coming right with you. So
Right.
you're gonna everything that you've done on that level 1, you're gonna do it in level 2, and you're gonna continue to do that same thing. You're gonna continue to meet them same people in different bodies until you learn to heal that trigger. And it's levels to it, like you said. But triggers aren't bad. I feel like we need to not look at it as, oh my God, I'm triggered. I don't want to be triggered. You running from being triggered when you need to be running towards everything that triggers you and learn and healing them little by little, piece by piece, healing yourself within whatever those triggers is, so you can learn how to react to them.
Say that part again. Same person in different bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. You thinking I'm just a good person? Why me? I do this for everybody and I always get played. Really? Well, maybe you need to go readjust your patterns. Maybe you need to go look at what it is that, not saying that you deserve it, the hurt. I'm not saying that. But if it's the same thing with different people and in different bodies and different seasons of your life in different years, yeah, there's something that you need to adjust in your own pattern. So, let's dig into that.
All right. So I see a lot of this in the comments. Y'all didn't even know I had this set up. So balancing both aspects, you know what I'm saying? So I love the comment section. I love that we're on the same page, and I agree, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna get a t-shirt seed dropper. So balancing both aspects and all aspects, because man, it's so much wisdom in the comment section. If y'all catch this on YouTube, if y'all can't,
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have to go back and read the comments because
Yeah, because Brandy, like, you just posting them up there, and
man,
like,
I can't really read them, especially when I'm talking. I'm like, but I can get bits and pieces of the word. I'm like, oh, that looked like that was a good comment. So I'm gonna just have to go back when we get off and go and read it.
While we on this perspective, Twyla, I don't know if she's still on here, it was a comment that she had made. I'm gonna post this. Oh, okay. That ain't the comment, but I'm gonna post it up there. Right on, Dr. Twyla. Hold on. It was one. It was some advice that she had in regards to a game instead of Netflix and chill. What is it? Do you? If you on here, Twyla, I need that message back. I don't even see it now, but I guess I'll post it later. So she had. It was a game that she recommended for individuals to play instead of the Netflix and chill. I guess we got so many comments that it got lost in the shuffle. All right, there you go. What was that game that you said try instead of Netflix and chill? Can you put that back in the comment section so I can post it up, Miss Twyla? But while I wait on her to post that, yeah, and right on Pierre. Hey, thank everybody for the comments. I'm not gonna hold Brandy all night. I only had a couple of more pointers. Actually, it's okay. Here you go. So there's only a couple of more things I'm gonna touch base on. So if you got any additional questions, comments, as y'all see, hey, I'm gonna post it on the screen. You know, this is the time where Brandy will have time to read the comments herself. I'm gonna slow it down. But she said deep conversation cards, they are amazing. So what Miss Twyla was recommending was, you know, for game nights, you know, because I'm a Monopoly guy. I love challenging games, you know, especially something like Monopoly, whatever the gist is. Thank you, appreciate it. See, I told you, not Brandy got to keep coming back. So I appreciate that, Mo. So I'm gonna leave on a couple of notes. One, expert insights. I'm huge on that. My new nickname is Seed Dropper. You know what I'm saying? So I do this out of just pure obedience. Believe it or not, it's not something where I desire to be an influencer, whatever the case may be. This is just what God gave me. He let me know, Leo, share what I give you. So that's what I do. All right. But I'm gonna always redirect you. Church home, pastor, therapist, even if you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Expert insight is beyond advice. Because where I do believe God give me insight and wisdom, I will say there are some things that, if need be, if I got to come back, correct something, whatever the case may be, if it was something that I felt was wisdom at the time, later on, learn like, dang, I got that wrong. Y'all can let me know if I'm off on something. You know, I'm not too big to be wrong about something. But I do want to say this show tonight was impromptu. I want to thank Brandy, Conquering Relationships, for, you know, answering the call. This was a great show. I think the impromptu was better than some of the scripted ones that we had worked on for the longest. So all in all, put that up there. So all in all, I'm gonna open it up for more.
Thank you, Pierre. That's my clothing brand. I am goals. That's my clothing brand.
All right. Yeah, so I am gonna respect her time. I'm gonna leave the floor open for her for some closing remarks. Anything that she want to go back over on notes, any questions that y'all have, any comments that y'all want to drop in before we get up out of here. You got the mic, Brandy. If you got anything else you want to share?
Not really. I mean, we discussed everything. You know me, like I told you earlier, I'm a free flower. So, you know, I don't always do, you know, scripted things like that. So I'm just like, hey, let's just have the conversations, authentic conversations. I do have my own platform, Conquering Relationships. My friend Pierre put my clothing brand up. I am goals. It's a confident statement. And so I have apparel for that. But I also do podcasting, not in the form of normal podcasts. I only go live with guests on my platform.
Mm-hmm.
And we touch all topics concerning intimate and platonic relationships, because I do feel like in my culture of people, like he say he love, I always say I love, especially black love. So I feel like our people, we gotta get it, y'all. We gotta find a common ground. We gotta find our tribe, and we gotta get these conversations going, because there are a lot of podcasts out there, and there's a lot of wrong information being going. It's a
A
lot of
lot,
entertainment happening. People they don't care about mending people. They care about the entertainment. They care
a
about the
lot of pandering.
views. Yeah, a lot of pandering. A lot, yes, a lot of, and I'm even. What's funny is they call me a pick me, but no, it is a lot of pick me stuff going on out there. But I'm really about having the hard conversations. I can even admit a lot of what I know, it was self taught, because I didn't get this from my family. I come from a very toxic family. They barely was married, and if they was married, they had all kind of outside kids on their partners. So I didn't come from healthy situations. So everything I know now, I had to self teach myself. So I want to get with more women and more men. I'm um I'm a life coach. My platform is for men and women. So I say I'm not a woman's empowerment brand. I'm a human empowerment brand. So hopefully y'all want to connect with me and Leo more, but we definitely got to get these conversations going in a healthy way, not an entertaining way.
And real quick, Eric, if you still on here, what's the app that you were just talking about? So E was talking about an app, where you can do certain things. And so yeah, Brent. Now this is something that I'm gonna share. So Brandy has her own thing that she does with her platform. Uh, my base is a spiritual mental lifestyle. That's the whole aspect of what I do. I believe in everything starts with the basis of the word of God. All right, mental. You got to have a healthy mentality so that you can make better decisions, so that you can have a better life. All right, and so spiritual mental lifestyle in that order doesn't mean that everything that I talk about is going to be 100% the word biblical base. I start off with the basis of it and whatnot. I'm not y'all pastor, man. You know what I'm saying? So I bring it according to how God give it to me to deliver it. All right. Like I said before, seed dropper. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop a seed and let somebody else water it. Let somebody else bring in the harvest. What we got here? What my guy say? What are you each hope to achieve from your platforms? Oh, he say, "Oh, you are answering it." um, I go first. So with my platform, if you're new, so I've been MIA. Took care of some business. I did the Michael Jackson. I took a break, took care of some personal business and some professional business. But as I come back on, whatever the case may be, um, I have coffee with Leo and some other segments, where affirmations, prayers, and strategies in life. And so this, with my platform, it's called Balancing Life. So the whole aspect of my platform is balancing life. And so different aspects, whether it's health, I love the gym. I love working out. You know what I'm saying? I love eating healthy. There are certain things that I do that I share on my platform to show people how to incorporate it to have a better, healthier life. Not just, from a diet perspective, but across the board. And that's why it's spiritual mental lifestyle. So helping individuals to understand different aspects on how they can address things in life from a spiritual, biblical standpoint. Mental health is huge. Our community hadn't been taught on mental health. We laughed at it growing up. We thought it was just light skinned cousin issues. Then we later found out that we got them too. All right. And then just lifestyle, how to implement these tools of the word and the mindset and incorporate it into your life. And whether that be career, whether that be health, whether that be mental, all of these things is what I utilize my platform for. What you laughing at, Mo? Let's see. And he say, So let's let you ask 12 questions. The end. Okay, so that's the app. So to answer, he said there's an app called the end. It allows you to answer questions and whatever. It helps you to get to know people pretty much. So where most people are surface based, with certain questions and they don't know how to vet a person. And I think that's something that we didn't touch on. Thank you, E. I think that's something that we didn't touch on was vetting. You know what I'm saying? How do you properly vet somebody? I think that's a topic for a whole nother show. I think we can add some bullets onto that. But that is, thank you, E. That's something that I definitely believe is a topic that should be covered. How do you properly vet somebody?
Yeah, and that's kind of going back to Pierre's question about our platforms, and that's my goal on my platform. One of my taglines on there is "Life is your training ground to learn, grow, and become a better you." So my whole focus and what I do on my platform is I'm trying to bridge the gap in the miscommunication that's between men and women. And my sole goal is to focus on us unlearning unhealthy patterns and mindsets and relearning things that's going to improve us so that we can conquer those platonic and intimate relationships. So I'm trying to bridge that gap because, like you said, a lot of us don't know what to ask. We don't, and we don't know how. So what I do on my platform too, when we do have discussions live or just on post, I try to teach people. Now sometimes I got to give them a little taste of their own medicine because they get beside themselves. But I try to teach people, hey, it's okay to disagree. You need this in relationships, right? We gonna disagree, but I gotta respectfully disagree with you. I don't have to beat you down because you don't agree with me. I don't have to name call you. I don't have to try to, really bogart you and, make you my enemy because we disagree. So that's also my goal, is just showing people like, hey, we don't see that the same way, but I don't have to fight with you because we don't see it the same way. We can table it and just move on, or just, hey, we just gonna agree to disagree, and that's just gonna be that. We ain't gonna touch the topic again. So,
Well, if y'all watch Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny, y'all know the quote from Elmer Fudd. That's all, folks. So thank y'all. If you tuned in a little late, the whole video will be available on the YouTube channel, Balancing Life with Leo Richards. Chances are I'm going to do a small clip from this to showcase the fun that we had tonight and redirect you guys to the YouTube page. I will leave this up on the Facebook page for a little bit, but it'll be over on YouTube, Balancing Life with Leo Richards. Full video will be found there. I don't know about a schedule, y'all. I don't know about what's to come just yet. I've been enjoying this time off, but it will be soon. There are some other plans in how to incorporate Coffee with Leo and what that looks like. Go over to Conquering Relationships with Brandy. And then let me see if I can share the shop page. Here's her store. Go to her page. I'm sure she'll have a link for you. Go shop with her. Go support her. And then I'll notify you guys the next time we plan to be online. So spiritual, mental, lifestyle in that order. Anything else, Ms. Brandy? It's been real, y'all. Appreciate you.
I'm tapped out.
All right.
Bye.